Welcome to another video about Seven Knights Rebirth, and here we're going to talk specifically about raid bosses, and in our case about Iron Devourer. I believe this might be kinda an important one topic to cover, because the stats which we're going to receive from this boss, they're going to be important, especially in the mid game, and later on they're going to be important for certain debuffers, they're going to be important for different tanks, and they're going to be important for specific DPS units which are able to maintain and increase from their passives, from their kit, their own crit rate. And you want to focus on their damage output, because crit rate isn't going to be that important. As for example, on the Ox King, we're able to farm set of Assassin, which is going to increase crit rate, and you're going to use it for a lot of characters which are unable to increase their base crit rate. So yeah, these are also important sets, but from Iron Devourer it's maybe a little bit more advanced and a little bit more niche, but still I consider it kind of important, because there are a lot of DPS units, and on a certain level of advancements they're going to be necessary. There are quite a lot of debuffers which are going to help you to actually clear the story mode and progress further in the nightmare. So farming these sets, it's going to be really nice as an addition for improving your performance of your account to battle better in terms of PvP and so on. So let's start with it. We are going to talk a little bit about the beginning aspects and some strategies behind it. So when we're going to see the information about the boss, basically he is going to inflict poison and paralysis effects, and he has like 3 heads. We're going to talk about it later on, but when we're going to focus on our team composition, it's kind of important that the only character which is going to provide paralysis immunity is going to be Victoria. She's a rare character, she's quite easy to obtain. About the poison immunity is going to be Lucy, also quite an important one character, and pretty much everyone will be able to get her. Now we have Asura here. She's going to be an additional support unit in our composition. It's like when we're starting from the very beginning, like completely free to play friendly. And in her case, she's going to increase the weakness hit rate, she's going to increase our damage output overall for quite some period of time. It's going from her passive. She's also able to provide barriers which are going to absorb damage equal to the barrier value. Basically, she's going to reduce the amount of damage which we're going to receive. The other important moment is going to be the defense down from her kit, and overall she is going to improve, let's say, our performance during the battle. First option to start the battle with your team as a free-to-play DPS unit is going to be Yuri, again another rare character, and in her case she's going to increase her crit rate from the passive. She's going to ignore certain amount of defense. It's a single target attack with quite a lot of damage output, also deals additional damage, the burn damage, and it's going to be like a continuous damage during the battle. So overall she's able to carry you through it for quite some period of time, at least at the very beginning, at the first stages. Later on, basically you want to do certain adjustments. But yeah, we discussed 4 characters. So we have immunity to paralysis and poison, we have buffer for our damage output, we have starting DPS, and we have the 5th slot. So it's kinda optional for you. You might use for yourself at the very beginning, even because he's going to increase your defense, he's going to provide shields, increase your survivability. It's going to be kinda a good option. The other character which actually you are able to use here is going to be Ace, because he is going to provide also defense down from his passive. It's not really that optimal, but let's say he is okay. Not the best option, but hey, something. I still believe that even is going to be more important here specifically. Now when we're going to talk about more advanced levels and further progression with your team compositions and team building, there are quite a few moments which you need to improve afterwards. When we're talking about paralysis immunity and poison immunity, so Victoria and Lucy, they're going to stay with you forever for this boss, like till the end, till the stage 15, because nobody else is going to provide it consistently. So yeah, they're going to be really that important here. Now about the damage buffer supporter, we all have Lina, the healer. I'm going to show you real quick, which I believe we are able to receive like for free. Here she is. The whole beauty about her, she's a great healer. First of all, the amount of HP that she is able to recover from his skill is kinda huge. She is able to apply healing instantly upon using the skill, and after that it's going to be a continuous effect for 2 turns. Whenever our characters are going to act, they're going to also recover a certain amount of HP. As well, additionally, she's going to provide damage support. She's increasing damage dealt by 23%, she's decreasing defense by 34%, and overall it's a nice thing. Also increase effect resistance by 28% from her passive, which is also a nice addition, and she is able to increase our survivability by quite a bit. She's able to survive kinda long because she also has barriers, and she's really that great type of a healer, of a supporter for pretty much every composition. When we're going to talk about the DPS unit which you wanna get ideally for this boss, is going to be actually Pascal. He's going to be great there. So the whole thing about him and the way he works is that he is able to nuke boss almost literally one-shot him. It depends on the progress of him, on stats that you have on the set which you're using, and obviously the support units that you're going to use for him, but he is able to just completely destroy it. So first of all, from his passive, he is going to increase magic attack by 27%, crit damage by 40%, he is able to ignore 65% of target's defense, and also he has additional 50% crit rate from his main damage skill, which is also a single enemy skill. Absolutely nuclear for this type of event. The first skill which he is using is basically a reset of a cooldown of his main DPS skill. As you can see, 150 seconds, so whenever you're going to use it, afterwards you're using his first skill, and he's going to reset his second skill immediately, and you will be able to use it not like instantly, but whenever the skill ability is going to be charged. So huge DPS, which is going to be great for this boss specifically. And we have again the last one slot, where in a completely free-to-play composition we are going to use Ivan, or for example Ace, because you're able again to get him from the start for free. What are we going to use in an ideal case scenario here? It's going to be Biscuit. Pretty much straightforward. Also, probably one of the best damage buffers in this game, specifically for PvE content, for bosses, for something like that, because when we're going to have a look at her, well, from her skill, she's going to increase damage dealt to bosses by 33%, she's going to increase weakness hit chance by 44%, and this boost is working for 5 turns. This is huge. As soon as you're going to actually enhance the skill, the damage to bosses is going to go up to 40% and weakness hit chance to 54%, which is actually huge. Also at advancement 6, she's going to provide these effects not to the character with the highest attack, but to 2 allies with the highest attack. It's quite an improvement. Not really that important, but maybe a certain type of content this might be kind of useful. Yep, from her second skill, it's like a 3-man AoE. She's going to remove 2 buffs and ignore defense. It's not really that important, but a nice addition. I mean, yeah, like why not? Buff removals for the boss, it's not really that important. And from her passive, she's going to decrease defense by 20%. Overall, this is huge. Like whenever you're going to apply her first skill, and for example you have Pascal, this is going to be decent. It's literally almost a one-shot. Again, based a little bit on stats and the level of difficulty. Now let's speak a little bit about the mechanics and what should you keep in mind and focus on during the battle. So as you can see, I am running right now in a farming mode in the repeated battle, this boss, specifically the stage 7. Actually, the stage 7 is exactly the stage where you're starting to get yourself 6-star gears, which is the maximum level of gears that we have in this game right now. Let's go to the battle, and I'm going to explain a little bit in details the stuff which is going to be happening there. So we're starting from the very beginning, and here's the thing: you can see 3 heads. These 2 heads on the left and on the right. Insane. We're going to wait for the new battle, and I will keep explaining the thing behind it. So 2 heads on the left and right, they're taking no damage at all whatsoever. It's like 1 point, yeah, but it's not a damage. You see 1 point, you won't see any reduction of his HP bar. Overall, for Pascal, he's kinda squishy. So yeah, as you understand, the head which is going to receive damage is going to be in the middle. This is the only head which is actually receiving any real damage. How is this working? By my feeling, maybe accuracy is going to play some kind of role, and with the higher accuracy probably you have higher chances to hit exactly the middle head. I'm not sure about it. Like you saw 3 times in a row. When I started to do him like for the first time, it was a mess because I didn't have a proper support units which are going to buff a lot the damage output from Pascal. I also didn't have 6-star gears on him. Right now he has it from the Ox King, actually with a crit rate. It's not the most optimal, but hey, it is what it is, why not? And I was, as you can see right now from his first skill, he actually attacked the head on the right side. At the very beginning it was like, I don't know, a pure 33% chance to get right into the middle, and you had to do it like 2 times in a row because he wasn't able to really one-shot him. It took me like 2 attacks. And the whole problem about the effects which we have, which we are going to receive from this boss, there are poison effect and there are paralysis effects. So we have 2 characters, 2 rare characters, which are kinda squishy without quite some of investments into their gears. Yeah, and you need to have them being alive during the battle for quite a long period of time. You really need, otherwise you won't be able to act, and in this case you're just going to skip turns with your main composition of support and DPS units. Yeah, the main problem is about Lucy and Victoria. the longer battle goes, the more hits you're going to miss, the more difficult it's going to be to complete him, because he's going to slowly just destroy you, and you won't be able to do anything just whatsoever. So first point to keep in mind about these two characters is just to work first of all on their stars, obviously, and on their survivability. When we're talking about gears, it's going to be kind of important one aspect to provide them some gears with HP, some gears with additional damage reduction, maybe even think a little bit about the defense, because it's really all about their survivability. This is the most important part about them. If they're going to live long enough, and if you have the rest of your composition like DPS, healer, and the damage buffer slash defense debuffer, you're going to be set just perfectly. It's the battle about survivability. No matter what, in a while you're just going to nuke and destroy this middle head. Now a little bit about the strategy and skill priorities here. So what am I using? As you saw probably already for a couple times, we're starting the battle with the skill from Biscuit, which is going to increase the damage dealt to bosses and the weakness effect. Alternatively, if you don't have Biscuit, you may start using the skill from Lina, which is also going to increase the damage dealt and decrease defense of the boss. And after that, the second skill which you're going to use is basically the nuke skill from Pascal. After that, the strategy which I'm following is that I'm going to activate the healing skill from Lina to again restore some HP from Lucy, from Victoria, for them not to die and live long enough. After that, the fourth priority is going to be reset of Pascal's skill, and after that AI is going to take action. If he is going to decide that probably it's going to be better to heal with Lucy, for example, he's going to heal. If it's going to be more important to use the nuke skill from Pascal, he is going to use it. And on repeated battles, it's working pretty much straightforward. Yeah, obviously, maybe sometimes you might get such outcomes when you're going to lose the battle, but overall, if you're going to progress correctly with your main DPS and your main supporters for your DPS, they will be able to deal enough damage, and your poison and paralysis immune units are going to live long enough. Everything is going to be perfect. A little bit of RNG aspect, but yeah, I was kind of confused first of all, but that was interesting, not gonna lie. Let's see if I'm going to hit the middle head right now or not, or am I going to be cooked? Just a second. Nice. Well, yeah, and the formation, as you saw, I was using the last one formation where we have the DPS unit right behind. He's going to have an increased attack, and 4 units in front they're going to have increased defense. This is the most optimal one for this boss, for this raid specifically, but yeah. But for progressing further, obviously, you really need to work on Victoria and Lucy for them being able to survive long enough. Biscuit is going to be just the best support unit here. Pascal is going to be just the best DPS unit here because he is able to one-shot it. If he's going to hit the target straight up, it's going to be almost instantly a one-shot. Lina, just a great supporter, damage improver, healer. She's going to be great here. With that being said, I believe that's pretty much it about the guide, the beginner's guide for Iron Devourer. The sets, again, I explained everything about them, and later on we might discuss actually the topic about different characters and which set to use them in the most optimal way. Hope you enjoyed it and find this helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.